How are we doing, everyone? Welcome back to Vintage Cars Ireland, and this week we're back in the workshop to work on the Peugeot 205. Today is a very exciting day as I hope to see the car fire up and move under its own weight for the first time. This is a Citroen 2CV which I'll need to move out the way later in the video, and you may see a video on this very soon. But let's just focus on the 205 for today, and I'm going to run through some of the work that we've gotten done over the last few weeks. Most of our work was centered around the electrics of the car, mainly around cleaning arts which cause a lot of issues with these cars. When we got the car running, the starter motor was staying engaged, and it took us quite a bit of work to find the source of the issue. Now, as well as some of the electrics, I also got some cosmetics done to the car, such as fitting the glass to the car and then any necessary auxiliaries around the engine to get it going. This is where the fuel pump relay is located, and also gave us quite a lot of trouble. We had to try a number of different ones, but eventually got one that ran the car smoothly. So in just a few moments I'm going to fire up the engine so you can hear it running. Then I'm going to fit a few parts such as the bumper and interior mat while I have a chance before seeing if the car will actually drive for us. There were certainly a few things that we had to deal with, which took quite a bit of time, trying to figure out why the engine wouldn't start before, things like that. So here you look at the fuel pressure regulator, which also gave us a bit of trouble. So what we did was we actually bypassed it and put the fuel rail, or the fuel hose directly to the fuel rail, just for now, just to get the car running. An interesting fact about the engine is that it's actually ported and polished. This means that the inlet and exhaust port to the engine were grinded, and it gives it just a little bit more power. So the grinding, or the porting, is just basically grinding the inlet and the exhaust inlets and outlet, and then the polishing is just polishing it smooth in again. Enough talking, time to fire up the car. I'm actually a bit surprised as the engine does sound a little bit lumpy. Even though it's ported and polished, it should still sound smoother than this. Regardless, it's still brilliant to hear the car firing up, and shouldn't be too difficult to get it to run smoothly. It just might need to adjust the distributor or something like this. Okay, so just going to take you around the back here, just to get a nice idea of what the exhaust sounds like, and then we're going to go ahead, turn the car off, and then we're going to get all our little jobs done and get the car out of here. Now I'm going to move the Citroen out of the way so we can see if the Peugeot will drive out of here. Okay, so before we head anywhere, I'm just going to go ahead and fit the front bumper to the car, and I'm also going to go ahead and fit the interior carpet while I have a chance and clean the car up a little bit further. The bumper is pretty straightforward and only requires a few bolts to hold it in place. This is the interior carpet, which I absolutely love. Like the red colour is so cool. You don't see this in modern cars. They're always just, you know, kind of dark colours or very, very plain colours. And now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fit the front grille to the car just to make it look a bit nicer, basically, before you take it anywhere. So the time has finally come. Let's see if we can drive out of here. So I managed to get a whopping 10 feet out of the boot before deciding to stop. So some good and bad news. The good news is that it drives. The bad news is that I don't feel comfortable driving any farther than this. The gearbox and suspension all sound great, no grinding, anything like that, which is a great sign. However, the engine, for whatever reason, doesn't sound too happy, and I'm going to have to do some further adjusting with the timing and do some checks. The brakes, however, also needs to be replaced, which is why I decided to just not go any further also, as there is no brakes working at all after installing and bleeding all new brakes. So this clearly just is the final issue with our braking system and it needs to be addressed. But going back to the engine, as you can hear, it just does not sound happy at all, and it wouldn't make sense to go any further without sorting this first. On the bright side, I mean, it's looking like a car again. It looks like it's a little bit dusty, but it looks really, like, it looks fantastic. It looks so good. I mean, we've seen this car for so long now, with the headlights ripped out of it, with the bumpers all off it. It looks beautiful. When you have the glass in, we got the glass fit in there a couple of weeks ago, and with the bumpers on and everything, it's looking really nice. Like, it's shaping up, and it does give you a lot more motivation to just keep staying at it. So look, hopefully we'll get it sorted. So it's time to move it back into the garage, and look, hopefully we'll get more episodes on this in the future pretty soon. If you're interested, make sure to leave a comment and subscribe and like, please, as it really does help the channel. So thanks a million for watching again, and see you next time.